Hey, welcome back to my Permanently Filipino playlist where I basically talk about everything my husband and I are doing as retirees, moving from the United States to the Philippines to become permanent residents. So today's topic is about getting a barangay certificate. Since my husband and I decided not to live the nomadic life of moving every 2 to 3 months, we decided we really were nesting when we were living in Parañaque. We were there for about 3 months and we just started realizing we just wanted to feel more and more settled. And since we made that decision, we decided we're going to start looking for a long-term contract, and we decided Lipa. So glad we did. We have lovely neighbors. We love our landlords. They're so helpful. And actually today's video is because one of our neighbors, with the support of our landlords, suggested to get a barangay certificate. It's going to be helpful for anything else that you will want to do, like getting a driver's license, maybe opening a bank account. To me, my interpretation is I'm making a commitment to stay in a community. I'm not going to be some nomad who's going to be leaving in 2 to 3 months. I'm actually going to stay in the community, and I have a contract to prove that. Okay, so my husband and I went to the barangay hall. I guess we had only been here for about a month officially. We've had our contract for about a month and a half. So it was the end of May. We actually went to the barangay hall. And every barangay hall will look differently. But so ours, it was an open area, like an open patio area, and there was an assistant or a host there who didn't know any English. I will tell you, the entire process lasted about 15 minutes. Even though we didn't have somebody who knew English, they did find somebody who could assist us. But when the entire process could last about 15 minutes, it's like no big deal. There wasn't anybody waiting in line. Now, if you have people who are waiting, then the amount of time is going to be a little bit longer. I would say our 15 minutes, the majority of the time for our 15 minutes there was because they needed to find somebody who knew enough English to assist us, which that might have taken 8 minutes because they might have been assisting somebody else. So anyway, once we had somebody who could assist us and we could then communicate exactly what our needs were, we were given a piece of paper. So this piece of paper is basically the form that needs to be filled out. Now, every barangay hall might have a different form, so I'm just sharing what my form was. And it would have your barangay name at the top. So things that we brought before we even knowing that we were going to try to get a barangay certificate. I brought my ACRI card. I brought my temporary driver's license. I had my United States driver's license as well. For my husband, I brought his passport, and he had his temporary driver's license and his United States driver's license. And then we also had our rental contract that had been signed and notarized. So I think that's all that we needed. Yes, that's all that we brought. So to fill out the form, I'm just going to read the areas that needed to be filled out. Okay, so your full name, the exact address where you're going to stay, the name, whoever's the head of the household, which as the Filipina, I guess I wrote my name. My husband, as a foreigner, typically does not do it. It seems just to be easier. Even if we go and talk to people, most people talk to me anyway, and kind of look past him. He doesn't like that, but it happens. My birth date, where I was born, the number of families that would be living in this household, the number of total family members that would be living in the household, your contact phone number. We have a Filipino contact phone number. The number of pets, dogs and cats that would be in this household, your email address, the IDs that we brought with us, and for me, they wrote down driver's license, ACRI card. They just worried about mine, not so much of what my husband brought, because really they just needed one person to fill this out. Only one form per household. The origin or province, and then it says government project beneficiary, which I don't know what that means, but I left that blank. I had to indicate if I was employed or not. I had to mark no, and then I wrote down retired for my employment. I print my name and then sign it, and then on the other side of the form, you'll see you have to list every single family member, their name, their birth date, the relation they are to you, if they're employed, and that is where you would write down the valid ID. So I had to again write down the valid ID I used for myself, and then the identification items that my husband was using. So however long it takes you to fill out that form, or fill out any form that's like a half a sheet, that's how long it's going to take. Once you get it, there was no line at the window, so I automatically was next in line, brought my form. I was asked, what was my intention? Why do you want a barangay certificate? I basically said, I want to get a permanent driver's license, to also assist with the banking, and because we have a contract, and we are planning to become permanent residents in the Philippines. He seemed happy with that. I'm looking at my notes to make sure there isn't anything else that I'm forgetting. Then he asked us how many certificates that we wanted. I asked for a total of 2 for each of us. So here I have my husband's and I have mine, because we had taken our second certificate to LTO so we could get our permanent driver's license. But I just said 2. Since I already have the form, since I already have this form, I think I could go back and ask for more if I wanted. So I just started off with 2. We haven't used the second one, so it's kind of nice to just have this as another indication of who we are in the barangay, in the neighborhood as well. After that, I paid $200. I'm trying to think if it was $200 total, or if $200. Oh my gosh, 200 pesos. Sorry, 200 pesos total, or if it was 200 pesos per. And I think it was 200 pesos total, to be honest. I really can't remember, but I think it was. Anyway, so then after that, after payment, digital signature, very similar to what we did over at the Bureau of Immigration. And then of course we needed to get our photo, because on your barangay certificate, you also have your photo at the very top. So part of the photo, you can't wear glasses. If you have longer hair, you have to tuck it behind your ears, and you cannot show any teeth. And then the associate behind the window then printed out our 2 copies. At the bottom of the certificate for us, I see my printed name. My husband had his printed name on his, and then we had to put our signature above the printed name. And then he took it, I think he did like a little stamp at the bottom, and then he signed it, and that was it. I mean, seriously, that took about 5 minutes of our lives. And the rest of the time was talking to people and looking for somebody who knew enough English to assist us. I think we honestly stayed there closer to about 30 minutes because we just started talking to people that were at the Barangay and just enjoying their company. And it was right before they ate lunch. That was the other thing. Most people, I will say, this is a habit of ours. We tend to go right before lunch because when we went to go get the medical certificate for the LTO, we went right before lunch, and they just want to hurry up and get rid of you so they could go and eat lunch. So that happened, and then at LTO, when we went to go get our temporary driver's license, not a guarantee, but that went pretty quickly. And then at the Barangay Hall, they finished with us. We were the last ones, and then they went to go eat lunch. So I don't know if that's a great suggestion or not, but it worked for us, and we have our certificate. So hopefully this information that I'm sharing with you would be helpful to you. If you have any other questions, just put them in the comments. But other than that, that's it. I think my next video will talk about getting the permanent driver's license. I think that's it. I think that's what I'm going to talk about next. But I don't know. Maybe it'll be a surprise. But thanks for visiting this time. I'll catch you later. Ciao.